Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Fisher. Senator Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to all of our nominees. I ask the initial two questions that I will ask each of you, and we'll start with Mr. Dill and go down the line, relevant to fitness to serve. Since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment of a sexual nature?
No, Senator.
Go down the line, please.
No, Senator.
No, Senator.
No, Senator.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
No, Senator. No, Senator.
No, Senator.
No, Senator.
We've had a number of hearings in this committee where various concerns have been raised about the politicization of various departments, clearly the Department of Justice, but also the Department of Defense. And I've been concerned about the President and Secretary Hegseth's politicization of the military, basically by sending military assets to our cities, for example. I'd like to get each of you to commit to supporting an apolitical military. Yes or no, please. Mr. Dill?
Yes, Senator, if confirmed, you'd certainly have my commitment to maintain a political military.
Apolitical. Okay, thank you. Go down the line, please.
Yes, Senator.
Yes, Senator.
Yes, Senator.
Did you say yes?
Yes, Senator.
Thank you very much. Mr. Velez-Green, if confirmed, you will help write and implement the National Defense Strategy, NDS. In your view, what nation is the most significant threat to U.S. national security and global stability?
Senator, thank you for the question. Secretary Hegseth has said publicly that the forthcoming National Defense Strategy will focus on defending the U.S. homeland, strengthening deterrence against China in the Indo-Pacific, as well as increasing burden sharing with our allies and partners around the world and revitalizing the American defense industrial base.
So the question of the Homeland Security and that aspect, because up to now we have been very focused on Indo-Pacific and China as a pacing threat. And so there are concerns about what direction this regime is going with regard to continuing to view China as a pacing threat and the assets that need to be there for us to contend with China. So you acknowledge that China will remain a pacing threat, although not quite sure how all of that is going to play out. So I'm wondering, though, how is a commitment to recognizing China as a pacing threat, how is that being acknowledged when the department is redirecting its focus and resources away from the Indo-Pacific, for example, such as moving an aircraft carrier to South America and other assets along those lines?
Senator, thank you again for this question. The Secretary has said publicly that China remains our pacing threat for purposes of force management, development, and design. The question of how that interacts with our focus on homeland defense, that's something that we work through on a daily basis, including by making sure, in effect, we've been tasked to do both, to prioritize both of these things. And so as we're working through that, we're very careful to deconflict resourcing requirements and ensure we are resourcing both those priorities consistent with the President's intent as relayed and directed by the Secretary.
I think it remains to be seen how all of this is going to be reflected in the resources that will go toward the homeland. I mean, we're all for homeland security, of course, but it's how that is done in view of China's activities, continuing activities, and particularly in the Indo-Pacific area. So, Dr. Todd, the DoD continues to fund costly non-reimbursable Department of Homeland Security border missions and continues to expand domestic deployments to American cities without being reimbursed. In a budget-constrained environment, how does continued non-reimbursable spending on the border mission impact DoD's ability to deter China's aggressive actions in the Indo-Pacific area? Dr. Todd.
Senator Hirono, the readiness of our forces is critical, and the missions they conduct contribute to their readiness for future operations abroad. I do not currently have information concerning the non-reimbursement for support through Homeland Security. My basic understanding from my past experience is that there are statutes under Title X that allow support to federal law enforcement and local law enforcement if it does
Well,
not take too much from the requirements
I'm
of the
running out of
department.
time. Maybe I'll have another 30 seconds or so, but there is little question that a lot of resources are being deployed to the president's desire to enforce what he considers his immigration agenda. And there are questions as to how much of this aspect of what he wants to do is going to be using military or DoD resources. And it's amounting to the millions. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman.
And of course,